In this video, we're going to learn about how to open more than one link or more than one website at the same time on your computer screen. We're going to learn how you do this on a laptop computer, and we'll look at both the Mac or Apple type of laptop computer and the Windows or PC laptop computer because they're a little bit different. Before we do that, we're going to look at two examples of when it would be helpful to have more than one website open on your screen. The first is if you were doing a search on the internet. So let's go to our internet browser. We'll open up this and let's do a Google search. So let's say we are looking for past tense verbs in English. We want to study that. And so Google gives us many different websites to look at. So we need to look at a few of these websites to see if we can find what we're looking for. Let's try the first one here, irregular verb list. And we have a list of verbs that are irregular in the past. So, for example, break is broke in the past. Another common one, go, is went. So this is a helpful list for irregular verbs, but we want a more general explanation of the past tense. So that means we have to go back to the search page. Maybe this one, past tense verb charts. Maybe that will have what we're looking for. So let's open that, click that. And we can see now we have past tense. So we have a little bit, looks like a little bit more explanation. Some more explanation down here. And yeah, this isn't bad. And it's got some charts here. So this could be helpful. Regular verb chart. And an irregular verb chart. So this might be helpful, but it doesn't seem to explain maybe as clearly in the writing. So we might come back to this, but let's see if we can find something a little better. Let's go down. Maybe here, right? This says simple past tense. Let's open that one. Now this looks like a good page for the explanation. So you can see here it says definition of the simple past tense. So you've got explanation, then you've got some examples. So that's kind of nice. Then you've got some more grammar explanation about different times, time words. Then you've got a little chart here. So this is pretty good. This is kind of what we're looking for. But the charts in the other page we were looking at are a little bit better, it looks like. So what would really be nice is to look at this page and the other page, the second page we were looking at. But now it's gone. We have to go back again to the search page. So this is a good example of a time when it would be helpful to have two websites open on your screen. And so we wanted this website here that says past tense verbs chart. So I want you to watch up here at the top. I'm going to open this page on the same screen. So do you see how this showed up now? It says past tense verb charts. And we also want to open this third page down at the bottom that said simple past tense. So let's open this. And again, you'll see that now, if you look up here at the top, you can see the title of this web page. These are called tabs, right? So we have 3 tabs open right now, and it just means there are 3 web pages open at the same time. So this is the search page, but if we want to look at the past tense chart, you can click this tab, just click it, and you'll notice here's this web page. And if you want to look at the other one, the one with the best explanations, you can click that tab at the top. So you see, this is much easier than having to go back and try to remember and go back and try to remember. Now you have all 3 pages in one screen and you just have to click. And if you want to go back and search more on your search page, you can do that, but you still have the pages that you liked and you want to use open. Let's look at one more example. In our English classes here at Green River, we use the Canvas system a lot, both for our online and our face-to-face classes. Let's look at a Canvas class. Let's go into our Canvas. We're going to close this and we're going to go to our Green River page. And most of you probably know how to do this. We're going to go to quick links and we're going to go to Canvas. And we are already logged in, so we're going to go into this class. This is a level 3 English class. And we're going to go, so you can see we have our Canvas page here. This was our week 6 from winter quarter. And in this class, one of the activities was to have a conversation practice using some vocabulary from the chapter that the class was reading. So they were reading chapter 6 in a book. And in this activity, partners are going to have a conversation using some vocabulary from the chapter. So that way we practice speaking and new vocabulary together. So this first link is here. So if we want to open that up and look at that, let's click that. And you can see here's the activity. So this is a classmate discussion. And there are 5 words here. These are vocabulary words from the chapter they're reading this week, right? Prayer, respect, loan, and so on. And down below there are 5 questions. Each question uses one of these words, so we can practice our speaking and learn new vocabulary. So for example, do you ever say prayers? If you do say prayers, how do you pray? How does it make you feel? Other questions down below, right? All 5. So students are using this document to ask questions and talk to each other. But they're also learning new words. So what if you don't remember or you don't know what that word means? So we'll have to go back to the main Canvas page for the class, and down here the second thing we would use is this website. So this is the vocabulary list for the week, and it has all the words and the definitions. So we'll have to open that to see. We're looking, what was the word again? We're looking for the word prayer, right? Prayer. Okay. Let's go back. Find it on the website. So we'll go to the website. We'll open this. And here is the website with the list of words. If we go down here, the words are down at the bottom, right? 19 words. Let's see if we can find our word. Oh, here it is. Prayer. So what does that mean? Okay, it's a conversation with God or some higher power. There's also a picture. Okay, now we know. Now we know what the word prayer means. And so we can go back. We want to go back. Oops, we can't go back on this page, so we have to close it. And we have to go back here. And then again, we have to open this to get back to the question, which we now understand. Now, the problem is this is a really long and complicated way to do this. It would be a lot easier if we could look at the two pages, this page and the web page with the list of vocabulary words at the same time. So let's go back and do that. So we're going to go back to the Canvas. We want to look at this document and this page together. Now I'm going to open all of these together, and I want you to watch up here at the top as the tabs open. So I'm going to put my cursor on this, and then I'm going to open it. And you'll notice there's a new tab here. There it is. But I also want this one. And there's a new tab there. So now these are all open in the same page. So I can go from one to another very easily. So here's the document, here are the questions, here are the words. If I don't know a word, I can go here. Now this one you have to open. We'll open that, close this one. Now you've got the three tabs. So this is much easier. Now I can look, I can see the words here, and if I want to look up, maybe I don't know the word loan. So just go to the website, click the tab, and there you have it. Right? A loan. Okay, what's a loan? Something that you borrow like money from another person or group. So how do we do this? Let's take a look. So here's a picture of a keyboard on a typical PC or a Windows laptop computer. For example, if you have a Dell computer, that's a PC or a Windows style laptop. And if you want to open up more than one website into tabs at the top, it's very simple. You simply press the control button, you can see in red. It's on your computer, it will say CTRL, control. You press that button. Different laptops, the keyboards will be a little bit different, but you will see somewhere one or two keys that say control, CTRL. So you press that button, you keep it pressed, and then you press the trackpad right here. So again, you'll press the control button, keep that pressed down, and then click the trackpad. And each time you do that, you will open up a new tab. If you are working with an Apple computer or a Mac, it's a little bit different, but it's very similar. You're going to press down the command button, keep the button pressed, and then click the trackpad. And that will open up multiple tabs. So again, back to our web page. In Canvas, if you want to open up this, you will put your cursor on top of that, and then on your keyboard, you will press Command or Control, depending on the kind of computer, and then click the trackpad. So that's what I'm doing right now, and it opens the tab. And then if you want to open this one again, you put your cursor there, click the trackpad, and it's open. So I hope that was helpful, and now you're ready to open multiple tabs in one screen.